Yeah.
So you can press kind of A to get started. Have you played a Donkey Kong game before?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you have any motion sensitivity at all? Okay. So that's kind of fast. So if like you feel anything weird, step back a little bit. That kind of helps with that.
Okay.
So yeah, man.
Thank you.
This is what will kind of help guide you where to go, but I don't think you're going to need that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But basically, the left stick moves donkey, the right stick moves the camera. A to jump and Y to punch.
Okay.
So start with that, and the rest of the controls will kind of come to you and kind of mess around with it.
Okay.
If you have any questions, just let me know.
All right. Great. Thank you. Okay, I've got to start by saying something. I never thought I'd say 3D Donkey Kong is back after a 26-year hiatus. Because I never thought it would actually take that long to get it. But after playing the demo, I think it might just be worth the wait. It's no exaggeration when I say this could be up for Game of the Year. And no, I don't throw that around lightly. Anyone who knows me knows that.
Yeah.
What I played was mind-blowing, and I'm genuinely excited to dive in and tell you all about it. So today, I'm going to talk all about Donkey Kong Bananza, the return of DK to the 3D platforming world. We'll cover the gameplay, some of the history behind Donkey Kong, how it connects to previous games, what the visuals are like, music, and where this series could go from here, all while you guys can enjoy the gameplay and actually see what the game looks like and how it plays. And this is a game that I got to play twice, so I got to play this for about 40 minutes, so it was really awesome. I'm not going to say how I got to play it twice, but I did, and you'll see that there's different footage in there, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Donkey Kong Bananza is a 3D platformer developed by the same team behind Super Mario Odyssey, and it really feels like the perfect mashup of Mario Odyssey's fluid platforming and the quirky, rare style platforming we saw in Banjo-Kazooie. The world is open, it's beautiful, and it feels like there's a ton of room for exploration, much like the best 3D platformers. I'm not even kidding when I say it feels like DK's own Super Mario 64. DK's history in 3D platforming is kind of fascinating, right? With Donkey Kong 64, we saw DK try to make a splash in the 3D space with varying degrees of success, but there were definitely some growing pains along the way. Bananza feels like a natural evolution of what Donkey Kong 64 started, with modern sensibilities and some serious polish. The demo I played left me wondering, where was this game 26 years ago? The platforming is tight, the exploration feels limitless, and there's so much creativity packed into this world. This is the 3D Donkey Kong game we've been waiting for. Donkey Kong is one of Nintendo's oldest and most iconic characters. He first appeared in Donkey Kong in 1981 alongside Mario, who at the time was simply known as Jumpman. And while Mario would go on to become the face of Nintendo, it's important to remember that it all started with DK. Without that game, there's no Mario, no Super Mario Bros., and probably no Nintendo as we know it today. In a way, Donkey Kong is just as crucial to the foundation of video gaming as Mario himself. What's really interesting about Donkey Kong is that you can't tell DK's story without Mario's. They both appeared in the same game, and they've shared a history ever since. There's a unique bond between these two iconic characters, and it's only fitting that Donkey Kong's first major 3D adventure comes alongside the modern era of Mario games. In many ways, Bonanza feels like a continuation of Mario's legacy in the 3D space, but with DK getting his time in the spotlight. From his arcade origins, Donkey Kong went on to redefine platformers in the 90s with Donkey Kong Country a game I've recently revisited and reviewed on the channel. And it's a game that set the bar for not just Nintendo, but the entire genre. And in the late 90s, Donkey Kong 64 was Nintendo's bold attempt to bring DK into the 3D world with the help, of course, of Rare. It was a massive game full of collectibles, quirky gameplay, and expansive levels. But despite its innovations, it didn't quite stick the landing the way Super Mario 64 did, or even games like Banjo-Kazooie. So, why the 26-year hiatus? That's the big question, right? Why has it taken 26 years to get a true DK adventure? Then there are a few theories. One could be that Nintendo didn't want to rush the franchise into 3D without a clear vision for what DK's future would look like. Another theory is that after the mixed reception of Donkey Kong 64, Nintendo may have felt that 2D platforming suited DK better, leading to a string of successful 2D titles like Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. But with Bonanza, it's clear that the time is right for DK to return to the 3D platforming space in a way that feels fresh, modern, and as polished as any of Mario's recent adventures. The first thing that hit me when I picked up the controller was just how fun this game is. I could have spent hours just exploring the demo stage. The world is absolutely massive and filled with... It's not just a linear path. There are areas you can climb, you can dig into the ground, and even dig up into the core of the stage to uncover hidden surprises. Seriously, I spent my first 20 minutes just exploring the space around me. Like, there is so much depth here. One thing I really love about the game is the sense of freedom. The world feels wide open, but it doesn't feel aimless. There's always something to uncover, whether it's hidden collectibles, environmental puzzles, or secret paths that reward you with bonus items. The design of the stages is so well thought out, giving you that classic DK sense of discovery while still keeping things fresh with 3D elements. And the gameplay is classic DK, but with a twist. Donkey Kong has a ton of new moves at his disposal. Punching rocks and throwing chunks of rock as weapons? Check. You can even use an aiming reticle to throw rocks at enemies. There are special bomb rock walls you can use to explode other breakable walls, and you can even ride rocks, sort of like Mario rides shells in Super Mario 64. That was the first thing I had thought of when I did it. This game has a lot going on, and it keeps you constantly engaged. Like, I had total information overload. I'm like, this is so cool. And collectibles are always a huge part of DK games, and Bonanza is no different. Golden bananas are scattered everywhere in the world, and they serve as the main collectible. Think of them like Power Stars in Super Mario 64 or Power Moons in Super Mario Odyssey. But there are other collectibles too, mysterious items I don't quite understand yet because it's a demo, but I was mining for them everywhere anyways. Honestly, it was tough to stay focused on my objectives because the world was so much fun to just explore. And that's special, man. Like, that's what it's all about, right? Let's talk visuals. Bonanza looks stunning. The character models are incredible, especially DK's model. The lighting is great, and there's HDR on display with vibrant, lush colors, the sky, the reflections, the water. Man, I'm a sucker for water in games. Anyone who knows me knows that. And this game's water graphics are up there with some of the best I've seen. It's like they took everything fans love about the DK world and brought it to life in the most gorgeous way possible. Just comparing the visuals to the last 3D DK game, Donkey Kong 64, Obviously it's night and day, right? 64 had some fantastic ideas. It even used the expansion pack, but the graphics were very much of their time. Bonanza, on the other hand, feels modern and sleek for its time. The level of detail in the environments, everything from the foliage to the water, it really elevates the game, and that's something I don't take for granted, and I don't think any Nintendo fan will, because we're not used to having those cutting-edge graphics, and that's always been okay with us because the games are so great. But like, we're getting both now. Now let's talk about music. If you've ever played Donkey Kong Country, you know how important the music is to the experience. David Wise, the composer behind some of the most iconic tracks in gaming history, set the bar high for DK music. And now, I've heard that for Bonanza, this soundtrack is being done in-house by none other than Koji Kondo, one of the few composers I'd put above David Wise if I had to. They're both brilliant, right? Kondo, of course, is the legendary composer behind Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, Star Fox, Pilot Wings, and so many other iconic Nintendo games. And when I say he's the composer for those, I mean the IP. So all the games, Mario, 3D Mario, Mario Party, Mario Kart, everything. That's a huge deal. Both composers are titans in the industry, and to see Kondo working on this soundtrack is a big promise to fans. So expect the music to be just as memorable as the visuals. And we've seen how integral music is to the DK experience, right? Donkey Kong Country wouldn't be the same without tracks like Aquatic Ambiance or Sticker Brush Symphony. The music doesn't just complement the gameplay, it elevates it. It's woven into the very fabric of the franchise. So the fact that we have Koji Kondo on board, that just makes the anticipation for the soundtrack even more exciting. From what I've gathered, Bonanza feels like Donkey Kong's origin story, which is honestly pretty badass. The promotional art shows a younger Pauline, which could be hinting at how DK and Pauline's relationship started, and why we have those iconic minecart levels in the DK series. We've known DK for over 5 decades now, and experiencing how it all began will be a real treat for fans. So the story had me hooked from the get-go, and I can't wait to see where it goes. My friends, at the end of the day, I'm absolutely blown away by what I played. The world is huge, the collectibles are plentiful, and the gameplay is everything I wanted from a 3D Donkey Kong. The graphics are stunning, the music is on point, and DK is back in the biggest way possible. If you're a fan of platformers, if you loved Super Mario Odyssey, or if you've been waiting for DK to make a comeback just like I have, this is going to be your game. And guys, that's the end of my video narration here, but I am going to keep the gameplay rolling for you because thankfully, luckily, I was able to actually play this game twice, but don't tell Nintendo because they weren't super happy about me playing twice, but I got to play twice at the end of the day, and you know, it's just more footage for you guys to see how cool this game is, so it's all good, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, before I wrap up, please make sure to check out all my other hands-on impressions from the Nintendo Switch 2 Experience Event. We've got everything from Mario Kart World, Metroid Prime 4, Hades 2, Cyberpunk 2077, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo Switch 2 editions, and much more. Let me know what you think of Donkey Kong Bananza. Have you been waiting 26 years for this game too? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content. And as always, remember, you're never too old to play video games. You have to play it quick.
It's not playing the timer.
Ah, okay. Cool, man. That's
Thanks.
awesome. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Right? What's the main part?
The destructible environments.
Okay.
That's crazy.
It is.
Like it's the whole area. think we're good.